Instead, yes. Instead of solving a problem directly into the algorithm, try to solve it over the pen or paper. Suppose I shared you something that suppose you have to create an algorithm which can take the n numbers of input from user and can print the average of that n numbers. Okay, so you don't need to directly code. First, write the algorithm, write the pseudocode. That how you will be able to solve that problem. Once you are getting the exact idea that I'll take the numbers, I'll take this thing, I'll take this thing, and will calculate this particular calculation over there, and will give the output. After that, convert that thing into the code. That will be helpful for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, then, is there anything else?
Thank you. That's helpful. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, Mahesh, are you new here? Mahesh and Shubham, are you guys new here?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Sure, let me share my screen. Just a second, let me save something extra. Yeah. I hope my screen is shared. Okay, perfect. So, actually, this is one of the code which I'm trying to execute. So, still value, and that should have this. Okay, perfect. So, what I'm going to do here. Yep. So that was your last session. Let me create a new data, 29 September.
Abhishek, we are facing one issue with the recordings. If I can share with you, or I need to share with the host.
Share with me as well.
Yeah. So when we are visiting the recording, means we can hear you, we can see the screen, but the codes which are there, it's not properly visible. It's like a blood. We are getting it like more like blood. We can't even read it when we are revisiting it. So if
Okay,
the
from this
resolution,
session. No, no, I got the problem. It because I hope this is because the font size is too small. Now I
no,
increased it. So from Mhm,
with you we can see it clearly. But when
mhm.
we are visiting the recording, we don't see it clearly. Means it's very difficult to at least to go through what has been quoted out there, written there.
I hope this problem is because of small font size. Because when we are recording, so the FPS rate of a powerful machine is, I guess, by max 25. So or 50 by max, 50 or 60. So that might be an issue. Also, you can confirm with the host, but I'll for the safer side, I'm increasing the font size. Hopefully, that will be helpful.
But thank you.
Sure. Okay, so let me close this. Yeah. HTML. Okay, what is document object model? Let me try to explain it before we start the session. So document object model is I already explained you that when you create an HTML, it is a kind of opening and closing tag language. So all the elements of it nested are between inside. So when you display it over a graph, so it will become a tree-like structure. That structure is called document object model, that this particular thing is there and this particular thing is there. Okay, just a second. Yeah. So let me make it go live. Where it is, where it is, where it is, where it is. Yeah. So we can manipulate. any document object component by using JavaScript. That thing is called manipulation of document object model. Now, how it works? Let's see. Suppose we place here h1 hello. Tell me how to manipulate Java, sorry, document object model. So also we need to create a script file and need to connect it over here. Script.js. Let's say script source. Okay, need to connect the script.js. And for the testing purpose, let me is leave a script connected. Okay, perfect. Save. Let me go here. Let me open localhost 5500 inside this 29 September. Inspect console. A script is connected. Basically, our script is working. Now, what I want at this point of time, first let me make it center. So apply a class instead of class, I can directly write style here. Style h1 should be text align center. H1 should be text align center. It's in center. Now, if I want to manipulate this thing, I know how can I do that. So to get this thing inside the script file, we have something called ID selectors. We have something called class selectors. We have something called tag name selectors and all the other things as well. So for this example, I'm using ID selector. So let me provide it an ID. ID should be heading tag. Let's say heading tag. Here, what I need to do document dot get element by ID. Inside this, we need to pass the name of ID, which is heading tag. So that particular element is now selected. Let me store it inside the variable. So this we can create. Let heading tag is equals to this heading tag is a variable of JavaScript. Now what we can do, we can just simply console.log print heading tag what it is. So as you can see, we are getting the whole element of heading tag here. Now if I want to manipulate it, suppose heading tag dot inner HTML is equals to, let me make it, this is how it works. This is how it works. Let me paste. As you can see, that particular text is updated. If you refresh it, it is now this. But if you remove this particular thing, now suppose if I want to re-update it, this is how it not works, suppose. So we can update anything in the HTML by using JavaScript file. Is that clear? If yes, then I will explain you those things in more detail.
Yes, it's very.
Please. Yeah. Okay. So we have also other ways to get elements like class. Class. Let me provide it a class heading tag class. Okay. So if I want to get it by using heading tag class, I can also do that. So let headings instead of document dot get element by class name. Here it is elements, not element. As you can see, when I was using ID, that was element. When I'm using class, that is elements. Now, what is the difference between it? If you remember in the session of HTML, I told you that we can provide same ID to just one element, but we can provide same ID to same class to multiple elements. So class is something which is provided to multiple elements same, but ID is something which we cannot provide multiple elements to same. Okay, so let me get it by class name. So what is that class name? Heading tag class. Okay, and if I want to console.log headings now, so this will be giving me an array. As you can see, this is an array. As you can see, this is inside this particular bracket, so it's an array. If suppose I'll increase the number of elements by using same class, suppose after this, let me change it with paragraph tag and remove the ID. Okay, so now this is a paragraph tag. So I'm getting two things. One is this one heading tag class, H1. Second is paragraph, and third is what heading tag is from the no. This one is one, and this one is two. What is this? Yeah, that was something else actually. So at the zeroth position, you are getting, as we know that indexing of arrays always starts from zero and ends at the number of index minus one. Okay, so heading this hashtag is an class name which I provided over here. Now, if I want to manipulate the heading, the first heading, so what I can do will access the zeroth heading. So now we are getting the same element. If we want to manipulate it like this, so what we can do, we can come over here, inner HTML, heading is updated by JavaScript or DOM manipulation. Let me paste it. As you can see, heading is updated by JavaScript or DOM manipulation. Are you getting it? Please let me know.
Oh, we can see there in the code like heading 0.
Yep,
So
this one.
what is that actually?
In the last session, we told you that we have something called arrays, right?
Okay,
And we know that every array's index start from zero,
0.
right? The first element will be zero. And instead of applying ID, we provided it in class, this class and this class. As we know that both elements of same class, right?
Yeah,
So both we are getting the elements who are of this class. So instead of getting a single element, we'll be getting the class array of those elements who have the same class. Okay, and we printed the elements as we go here. We printed those array over here. If we go here, we are getting that we have an array where zeroth index is that top element and first index is that paragraph element. Okay, so, and we just want to manipulate this one. So what we are getting, we are accessing the first element and we are applying the inner HTML over it. Are you getting it?
yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so this was about HTML. We can also manipulate multiple things. Suppose if you want to manipulate the CSS, so you can do as well. Headings 0 dot styles dot background color should be red. If I go here, okay, BACG style. Okay, so we can also manipulate our CSS using JavaScript. We applied background color red. Suppose you want to make it black and text color should be white. You can also do the same. Black. And if you want to apply a text color, so that is just color, not anything else. Color should be white. Let me paste here. If I, okay, text color is white. So we can also manipulate our CSS from here. Are you getting it? So
Yes.
basically, what am I trying to explain here? Whenever you pass any text, any button, any CSS to it, that is attached to a DOM element. Okay, that is just attached to a DOM element, not over something else. Let me do something here. You will getting a more idea. This is our document, which contains this HTML text, right? That as we know, our index.html contains those files. If I comes inside body, we are getting those both elements, and we are getting each and everything written to it, each and everything connected to it over here. So basically, DOM is a kind of structure where we connect all the things related to that, properties, JavaScript attached to over the component directly, and we are just manipulating this thing actually. So suppose if you want to change this, like let me do something else instead of this. Let me apply the button. Suppose if someone clicks over this paragraph tag, the text should be changed. Okay. So we have something called event listeners. Okay. So let me get the paragraph tag, which is paragraph tag. And we know that it is already inside this heading at the last index, which is one. Okay. So let me get it. Now on the paragraph tag, add an event listener. Now what is an event listener? Let me tell you in depth. Event listener is something which tells the para. Okay, event listener is something which tells which kind of event occurred over here. If I click over here, this element will occur. I did something wrong here. Paragraph tag, heading one. Okay, let me provide it an ID for a quick check. Para tag document dot get element by ID. Get element by ID. Para tag. Yeah. Okay, B should not be capital. Timeline should be removed. Add event listener. Click OK. Okay. Okay. What we did here wrong? Or it should work. As you can see, when I'm clicking over it, it is increasing the para click. It is printing the para click again and again. Are you getting it? Now let me explain you how this code is work. So basically, we are getting that para element. Else we can do also one thing here. Heading, headings one. Okay. If I again do the same, it will work. So what is this? What is happening over here? We applied a click event listener. Now, what is a click event listener? Click event listener tells you that a user clicks over it. So we are passing a callback function. This thing is called callback function. Callback function is something that when one part of the event is completed, then this particular thing will be executed. So this thing is called callback function. Let me explain you this thing again. When someone clicks over it, only in that case this function will be called. So this thing is called callback function. Else you can also create a function that pass over here. Like let me create a callback function over here, calls, which is also called arrow function. Para click para click effect. This is also called an arrow function and just console.log paragraph click effect. Okay. And instead of it, let me simply pass here para click effect. So what it is doing when I'm clicking over it, paragraph click effect is printing. So what it is happening that when someone clicks over this headings one, which is that paragraph tag, that this para click effect will run. And this is our para click effect. Are you getting it or not? Please let me know. Amit, please acknowledge if you are getting it.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Let me check. Amit, Mahesh, Shubham, Amit, Kali, Linux. Wow. Amit Kumar, are you all getting this? Please acknowledge me quickly.
Okay, okay.
Sorry.
Paraclick effect that gives
Mhm.
effect at the back end.
This is not a backend. This is also a front end. For a backend is a different thing. But this is a function. As we studied in our last session, that there's something is called function. So this is just a function where we printing console.log paragraph click effect. When this particular thing will be run, when this particular click effect will occur, then this function will automatically run. It is like that.
Okay, got it.
Are you all getting it?
Okay, all
Perfect. Then you have just 1 minute to copy the code, then we'll continue. I'm coming back with a glass of water. Please copy. Till then. Is it copied? Please acknowledge me if that's copied. Amit, Mahesh, can you hear me? Amit, Mahesh,
yes,
Saurabh, Amit, is that copied?
Not copied.
okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Is there anybody who has not done? Sure. Let me move the code back. Okay. So this was about our event listeners. We have also other event listeners. Like if you click over there, add event listeners. So there are lots of event listener, which is
How do you
click, scroll, in, out. There are lots of event listener on change. Okay, which you'll get to know with the flow of time. So at this point of time, this is enough. I'll be going to understand you how to apply it over the buttons. Is there anybody who wants to ask me anything?
yes, sir.
Tell me. Okay, let me. So let me create a button over here. Although let's do something else. Let's remove this H1. We are going to create a counter application now. Div dot counter. Let's give it an styling. Dot counter should be border 2 pixels solid red. Width should be 300 pixels. Height should be 300 pixels. Background color should be hash F2, F2, F2. Okay, let me go back to here. That's perfect. Let me give something over here. Body, display, flex, justify content center, align item center. Before that, reset padding 0, margin 0, and box sizing should be border box. So this is how it works. Also, we need to give the height 100. Okay, so this is we have in box. Now what are we going to do? We'll be creating our buttons inside it where the buttons will be where we have two buttons plus and minus and we have an initial value 0. When someone click over the plus button, the value will be increased by 1. When someone click over the minus button, the value will be decreasing by 0. So let's do the same. So let me go here. Button plus paragraph value blank and button minus. Okay, perfect. Uh, Although we need to make it center, counter, display flex, justify content center, align item center, gap should be 10 pixels between them, perfect. And paragraph should be background color white, perfect. And initially, let me add a paragraph value which should be 0. Okay, perfect. Instead of background changing background color, let it be like that. Perfect. Let me give an styling to the buttons. Padding should be 5 pixel, 15 pixels. Yep, that looks perfect. And let me increase the gap by 30 pixels. Better. Let me remove the border from here. Make it some border radius, which will curve the borders 10 pixels. So this is how it works. Let let's give some background color over here. Outline should be removed. Border should be removed. Although make it border radius 50%. Instead of 5 pixels, let me give it 15 pixels. Not 15 exploding. It should be 10. Yeah, that looks perfect. Font size should be increased. Font size should be 1 rem. Okay, perfect. Also give me some cursor pointer. So this is how it works. Now I want to add the functionality over it. When someone clicks over the plus button, the value should be increased by 1. When someone clicks over the minus button, the value should be increased by minus 1 or decreased by 1. Okay. So first of all, let me make it. Let's make some change. This should be minus, and this should be plus according to according to table structure. What I have done wrong here. This should be plus, this should be minus. Okay, perfect. Now let's get this value over the script first. So let me give it to the class. This class should be, sorry, this ID should be value document dot get element by ID value. Uh, let value is equals to this thing. Okay. Now we have two buttons, plus button and minus button. Also provide them ID plus button and also minus button. ID minus button. Let me declare a value over here. Let's initial value should be 0. It's let actually. And initially assign value is equals to initial value. If I remove now 0 from here, this will be over here. Okay, sorry, I did something wrong here, which is this document dot get element by ID, which is value with initial value. It is not taking. Okay, script is not. Script is connected. Mm, Sure. What I did wrong here. This should be inner HTML. Now it's here because we are adding the value in the inner HTML of that. Now let's create the functionalities of that button. Document dot get element by ID plus button dot add event listener. When someone click over it, then we have a callback function that initial value should be increased. But the issue is if you do same, this will not work. Plus button, although minus button. In this case, value should be decreased. Also, for the safe side, let's check what the value is getting. Initial value, also console.log, initial value. So if you are doing this, as you can see, value is not getting updated. But if you are getting, see, checking the console over here. So as you can see, when you click over it, value is getting in minus, plus button, minus button, see button. Okay. What I did wrong here. This should be inside here, and here should be minus one. Should- Yep. If you plus over it, if you click over it, the value is getting increased. If you minus over it, the value is getting decreased, but the value is not displaying over here. What is the reason? Is there anybody who knows? Please acknowledge me if yes or no. The issue over there is whenever you update any variable in the JavaScript, you have to also update the DOM tree. We just updated this JavaScript variable, which is initial value and initialized with zero. We just updated that value, but we have not updated the value just like this thing over the screen. So we have also updated the value over the DOM. Get element by ID, which is value should be inner HTML should be initial value again once you increase the value. Also, you have to do the same over here. Now, if you go over there and will see the screen, the value will be getting increased. What the thing I have done wrong here? Initial value, inner HTML, initial value. Perfect. This should work. When you are increasing the value, or when you are decreasing the value, it is working. Please acknowledge me if you are clear with it or not.
Okay.
Perfect. Guys, please acknowledge me if you
Yeah,
are clear with it.
clear.
Perfect. So please copy the code in just 1 minute so that we can continue. Yeah, is that done? Please let me know if that's done. Can you hear me, guys?
No,
You cannot hear me or you have not done?
I'm not done.
Boom, boom. Hmm.
Is that done, guys?
Yeah, done.
Sure. Then let me try to explain you the assignments which you have to do related to it. There are some three assignments for the next session, which you have to cover before the next session. Let me write in the chats. First one is to-do list. I'll explain you the functionality. And second one is calculator. Third one is to-do list calculator. And one more thing which is left. Yeah, to-do list calculator. One thing I'm missing at this point of time. Okay, I'll show you. First, let me explain you what you have to do. To-do list. To-do list is a kind of application where you can note down your tasks. You have to create this one actually, where you can add the task whatever you want, and we'll see you over here. You can delete that particular task and you can mark it as done. And this should be have also one functionality. Let me explain. To-do list should be add task, delete task, mark as done, edit task, sort in terms of date, total tasks, delete all tasks. At least those functionalities should be there. So basically, what you can do, there will be add task when you write something over here and click over press add button. That should be added. Mark as done when you click over the check. That is, there should be a line overthrough. That is mark as done. Delete a particular task should be this task deleted. There should be a total number of tasks over here, and there should be a delete all tasks should be here. These should be the bare minimum functionalities it should contain, and one is the most important, that is edit task. Suppose if this task is not perfect, you have to click over this task. There should be an edit modal open where you have to edit, enter the right name for it, and you have to press over there, and this should be edited. Although they should be sorted in the order they enter. That should be the time order. You can use this UI as well. That will be totally up to you which you want to select. That's your freedom. Okay. I'm sharing this link as well over here. Please copy the links from here. Second thing apart from it, you have to create a calculator. So there's a bare minimum calculator of iPhone, which most of the developers create. So I want to suggest you to create the same. You have to create this one, which is very easy. There should be a this button, and all buttons should be functional. Just one thing at this point of time, I want to suggest you. This will be taking a library which is created, which is imported by somewhere else. Just a second, guys. Sorry, that was unintentionally left actually. Yeah. So there should be two cases. One is try catch block, which is also called error handling. Error handling. Try to learn them before you creating this project. Also, we are explaining this concept in the next section. But I want to suggest you to try to learn it before creating the project. And the second is import an external library to calculate. This is a project related specific thing which we will not be covering in depth. We will just letting you know how you can import an external library. But I want to suggest you to wait for me instead of waiting for me. Please create those both projects by yourself and use those concepts before creating the project and try to implement over there, and we'll let you learn more. Okay, so that's your assignment for the next session. Now, please tell me what the queries you have related to the session, related to the assignment, so that we can cater your doubts.
Can't we copy these items from the chat? This is not allowing me to do this.
Which
I'm
item?
missing- Like calculator to do list. I'm trying to copy it, but it's not allowing me. So maybe I'm missing something here.
Take the snapshot. Would be
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Document object. Is there anything else, guys, which you want to know? Please acknowledge me. Also, please try to create the count rep by yourself again.
Okay.
Sure, if there is nobody who has any doubt, you may leave the session, guys. Thank you so much.